We are April and Scott, creators of NaughtyGym.com, and this is The Naughty Gym Show.
For years, we've been fitness and nutrition coaches to thousands of people through our commercial gyms and online platform. We've also spent nearly a decade in an ever-evolving open relationship.
This show brings together two of our biggest passions, fitness and sex positivity. Our mission is to maximize the physical and mental health of anyone brave enough to explore relationship structures that run counter to societal norms.
We have demolished our old ways of thinking about relationships, and from that rubble, built a life full of happiness, adventure, and vitality. And now we want to help you do the same.
So hop on the treadmill, start the show, and let us teach you how to never stop playing. Welcome back to the Naughty Gym Show. I'm your host, April, and this is the Coyote Whisperer, my co-host, Scott.
Thanks, babe. In case anybody doesn't know and wants to send me gifts to make me feel better, get well gifts, I got attacked by a coyote on a bicycle.
Which is not true. However, somebody did send you a shirt that says the Coyote Whisperer.
Yeah, and it's wrapped in like LGBTQ rainbows and stuff.
It's cute. All right, so we have our coaches, Matt and Cara, with us today. And they did something very special yesterday. They hosted the very first PNW Naughty Gym Meetup.
And what does PNW stand for?
Pacific Northwest in Portland, Oregon. Look at me.
Yeah, you know your geography.
I learned what PNW meant while I was creating marketing material for this event.
Yeah, so they hosted an event that was a Naughty Gym sponsored event that we did not go to.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a bit of obnoxiousness on our part, but we get worried like, oh, we don't want to let somebody run one of our events because what if they don't do it the way we want it or as good as we do it? And they probably did it better than us, but this was new territory is for us to have an event really on the other side of the country that we did not go to and just turned it over to what turns out to be very capable hands. But
before we get into all of the details, so we're going to do a whole recap of the event with Matt and Cara. We want to talk real quickly about a couple of our events that we have coming up. So November 1st through the 6th is our holidays. In the Smoky Mountains. That's a couples retreat. And we have one spot left that just came open.
Yeah, we've had a cancellation. So if you're interested in going, let us know.
And that is November 1st through the 6th. Details on our website, naughtygym.com. And then we have our women's and our men's retreat. So I am, along with Catherine with Expansive Connection, hosting a women's menopause retreat called the Wild and Wise Retreat. This is November 13th through the 16th in the Smoky Mountains. Right now, we have 3 spots left for this. So this is just a good opportunity for women to come together and learn how to thrive through menopause. This is not just for women that are perimenopause or menopausal. This is for any woman that may at some point experience menopause in their life, which is every woman with ovaries. And so we have Catherine, who will be doing some workshops. I will be doing some workshops. Luna Matatas will be talking about sexuality and menopause. And then Dr. Jackie Fleury will be coming in and talking about just different things like HRT, how to approach menopause from a natural perspective, gut health, just all kinds of stuff related to menopause. This is a really good opportunity also to meet women and foster friendships with women. It's really difficult as we age to meet new friends. And this is a community of like-minded women. And then you also, at the same time...
I have a men's retreat, same time as the women's retreat. We only have, I think, 1 spot left now. So if you're interested, get with me quickly. But ours is mostly about connecting and creating friendships with other guys in the sex positive community. Because for most of us, we struggle to be authentically ourselves in our local community, especially if we're in a very conservative area, because being our authentic selves comes with consequences, especially if our authentic self is very different from the community around us. So this is a great chance just to get together with other guys. We're not going to do a lot of workshops. We're going to have about 90 minutes a day where we talk about some relational stuff, and the rest of the time is going to be spent doing some awesome, fun things with other men.
Yeah. And it's so important that New York Times just put out an article about man keeping. What man keeping refers to is men who are at an increasing rate not having male friendships.
Yeah, like in 1990, they did a study that showed that 50% of men had some other male friend that they could go to for problems, deep conversations, somebody they could turn to from a male perspective that they trust and they could be open with. And recently that study was redone, and now modern man, there's about 20% of men that have that kind of male friendship they can turn to. So it's definitely changing. And the problem with that is we still have that need as men, but we now are offloading that work to our partners, our wives. And that puts a lot of additional stress on them to not only be our partner, but also give us that guy advice that they don't want to give and they don't want to have to be responsible for. And so I think it's important for us to reestablish male friendships.
Yeah. And what this isn't, Mancation Mountain, is a bunch of toxic men sitting around bashing their wives and talking shit about their partners. What this is men who want to be better, want to be healthier, and want to have real authentic connections, and want somebody that they can talk about issues maybe they're having with their partner, and their friend's not going to be like, yeah, what a fucking cunt. You should definitely, leave her. This is men who can be like, well, let's look at it from a different perspective and just listen and give real kind advice. So I think you're doing a really good job helping to change that culture, especially the lifestyle community, I think, is a little less toxic than out in the vanilla world.
But you still see
But
it.
there's a lot of work to be done still.
Yeah. All right. Well, Matt Cara, you're fresh off of 2 hours sleep, off of 2 huge events yesterday. How are you guys feeling? Or first of all, welcome to the show, and then tell us how you're feeling off minimal sleep.
Yeah, well, I have felt better, but I feel really, really like my cup is so full emotionally. It was such an amazing experience in so many ways. And so I feel really happy and excited. It's a mix.
Yeah.
So you guys had come to us. Well, we've been in the talks of doing something like this for over a year now.
Yeah, I was going to say almost 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years. So we finally pulled the trigger, and you had found the clothing optional beach, Sauvie Island, that you could do kind of like a casual meetup. And then Club Privata in Portland agreed to a Naughty Gym themed night where people can wear like sexy workout clothes. So talk us through what we did is we put out a link where people could be added to a Telegram group. You and Matt ran that Telegram group, and kind of tell us about the process of starting the event, and then finally yesterday the event itself.
Yeah. So the concept of the group or the event I had after going to your first meetup, like when we came out there and I saw what you all were trying to do in Alabama. And I was like, I just loved the way that you were bringing community together and that you were finding more people locally. And honestly, I was sort of shocked that you found as many people where you are as you did, because it is such a conservative area. And so I was like, this is amazing. And now in a lot of ways, you have like a great community there. And I was like, there are a ton more freaks in Portland.
There's various metrics, like per capita. Portland has the most strip clubs per capita in North America. Like it's, yeah, there's some freaks in Oregon.
Because it rains so much.
And Washington.
What are you going to do? Like
Well, yeah, to go back to that event, we've done 2 or 3 now of the local meet and greets or, little gatherings here in Alabama. They, like you say, they were in an effort to find other people like us that just didn't have an outlet to, be around like-minded people. But one of the things an idea we've had for a long time is we would love to be able to replicate that in other areas of the country. But of course, this stuff, as you guys are now well aware, takes a lot out of you. It's exhausting. And for us to be able to host events in all sorts of different areas around the country is just not feasible. Even 3 or 4 major events that we put on each year are exhausting. And we need breaks, a month or something just to kind of gather ourselves and recoup the energy to come back and be good hosts. So one of the ideas was always to have different Naughty Gym meet and greets around the country, but we didn't know how to scale that and make it feasible. And you guys have been the testing ground for the first possible foray into that new possibility.
Well, and also we needed to have people who aligned with our mission, vision, and values, right? It's not just let's have a Naughty Gym meet up in any town. You have to have hosts who, like Matt and Cara, align with our values, our mission to be connection focused first. And that was really important to us. And we know that Matt and Cara are aligned with that.
Yeah. I mean, most, and this is not, and I feel like we were always bashing the sex forward events, and we don't mean it that way, but that's just what you see primarily is very sex party focused type events. And those are fun. We go to them. We like them. But we feel like there's a market for something a little maybe deeper from a connection standpoint. And that's what we're trying to foster with these meet and greets.
So tell us about yesterday, Sauvie Island first.
Yeah. So, I mean, talking about like the connection, like I feel like I must have told the story about how I found Naughty Gym itself and how it changed the lifestyle for me so completely in such a good way. Like we had been on the apps and we had been trying to figure out what we're doing. We'd been to a club and it was just like, we just sort of felt lost. And I was missing that connection piece so much. And finding y'all really was a complete game changer for me. And so like I told that story like 15 times last night because people always know, like, what are you guys? Like, is this a gym? Can we go to it? It's like, it's a community, and it's like, it's where you can sort of find family within like fitness and lifestyle. So yeah, so I just wanted to say that piece first, because I really think that as the story unfolds, that part of it is really like prevalent, that community base. And it really seemed like people did really want that. Like this, and we had a lot of fun. Fun was had at Pravada. And I think it was so much more fun because we had this like group of like new best friends, like just charging into the club together. It was very different than any other club experience that I've had because of the connection part that we had first.
Yeah, I love that.
Naughty Gym didn't charge anything for any of this. This was a 2-part event. In the daytime, you were going to meet at a public clothing optional beach in Oregon called Sauvie Island, which we've never even been to. You guys knew about it, found it or whatever, and proposed that as the possible starting point for the day. That people would just meet out there. I think there was just a parking pass or something you had to buy, but that would be the initial meeting point for the group. And then when that was over, probably everybody would go home, freshen up, maybe take a nap, go to dinner, whatever. And then part 2 would be that night at Club Privata in Portland, which is a lifestyle centered or focused club, and that you would have fun and hopefully more fun because of the connections you had established. Not just at Sauvie Island earlier in the day, but you guys opened up a Telegram group that, I don't know, ended up having 80 something, close to 100 people in it.
Yeah.
So tell us, Matt, a little bit about how the day started at Sauvie Island.
So there was already a small group when we got there, which was pretty impressive given that it was sort of an off day weather-wise. But we got set up down there, and then more and more people arrived. We had planned to play a this or that sort of icebreaker game. So like, do you like a bougie espresso drink or do you like black coffee? And then there'd be a follow-up question. And so that was a great icebreaker where a lot of people were still coming in when we were doing that. So we did that. And then after that happened, everybody kind of settled down and this organic circle started. And like there was talk about the endocrine system and relationship dynamics and daddy wounds. And it was like, you could not have scripted or cast a better group of people. And just the conversation that just came just organically, it felt really special to just experience. And that's having been experienced, your guys' events and those connection circles. I was like, my God, these people are amazing. So
I love that.
I want to backtrack just a little bit too, because he didn't give himself enough credit about this game. This game was so fun. And it was active. It was the only really active thing we did at the beach, but it was all like Pacific Northwest themed questions, and people had to run to opposite sides of the beach, and then they had to talk to somebody that they did not know and answer another like follow-up question that was more personal, like what makes you feel safe, or like what about you, what's something about you that other people might not know or would surprise somebody, or something like that is a little bit deeper. And so I don't know, I'm a big believer in like just there was so much laughter and there was so much like physical movement. I think that people just kind of like by the time we all kind of rounded up, we were all really comfortable with each other.
Well, so you said the weather wasn't ideal, and I have never been to Oregon, anywhere in the state. But the only images I have in my head is of it constantly raining. That's mostly off of the Twilight movies, which I don't even know if those were actually.
It's accurate. No, it was. So it was like, it was in the 70s and it was sort of overcast. So it wasn't like it was cold and it wasn't too hot. And really, if it had been hotter, everyone got their ass kicked before going out later that night. So
did people get naked?
Yeah. Yes, at the very end, one of the couples went out there, and even she didn't get naked at first. He did, and then Cara, this one, was like, "Let's all get naked and go in the river." So we went and got naked in the river. So that was
the whole group, like everybody.
Yeah, and it was
everybody that was still there. Yes.
No, yeah, we just hyped everybody up. I was like, "We're getting naked, let's go!" And we just all took our clothes off and ran out into the.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Way to take charge, Cara.
And so up until that point, though, even though you're on a clothing optional beach with a huge group of swingers, nobody had taken off a top or a
70
bottom.
degrees.
There was, no one was totally naked. I don't think any.
Somebody was like totally naked with a shawl over, but yeah, I mean, people were just sort of however they were comfortable. And a lot of people were just wearing their swimsuits and like sitting around, and we were talking. There were other naked people like from other groups around us
who didn't have shawls on.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things we hear from people is like, look, we got kids, we have busy work lives. I don't have time to play around. I don't have time for all of y'all's 3-4 day get to know you situations. I'm ready to go to the sex club, fuck a bunch of people and go home. Explain what you feel like is the benefit of an event like this, where you had a casual meet and greet that was not at all about play prior to the night at the club. Do you feel like that was a benefit? And if so, why?
For sure. I mean, it even started in the Telegram group, and some of those posts like that we were trying to get people talking were like flirty and fun. And we were posting pictures of our workouts or pictures of our butts or, whatever, and then, but we got to know each other a little bit then. And then people, I think, were kind of excited to like meet somebody in person to see if there was like a little pheromone match kind of thing happening. And but then we got to like really learn about each other. And so like there were people that I might not have ever talked to at the club that I had the best time like interacting with throughout the day, because we had gotten to know each other a little bit online and then a lot when we were starting to talk in person. I don't know, like you realize how many judgments you sometimes make about people based on what they look like or like a demeanor or something. And then to hear these like, just these big, burly, muscly men like talk about their kids in like the kindest way, and how they like hold them so dear, and how the lifestyle has even influenced the way that they parent.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful. Really and cool. I think that so much of what the lifestyle really is for a lot of people is becoming more authentic to themselves and within their relationships. And that is something that can't really be talked about in a loud club where you're just looking to fuck. It's something that that like, I think that people really want to be talking about more. It felt like it. It felt like as soon as that cracked open a little bit, like people just didn't want to, like, we stayed so much longer than we planned on. I had nap plans and like,
well, that's the thing about, why we say we're more connection focused, because there's been so many times where we have seen somebody and maybe we weren't attracted to them at first, or maybe we were really attracted to them at first glance. But then once we got to know them, either we were more attracted to them or less attracted to them, because you have these conversations. And I think that's so important, at least for us, if you're a connection focused person.
Well, it's better to find that stuff out in the middle of a conversation than in the middle of the playroom. Right.
Yes.
I mean, if you find out, oh, this might be a misalignment here with this person, maybe we shouldn't have done this. That stuff is easier to navigate outside the playroom than it is in the middle of the heat of the action. And that's why these kinds of things feel so important to us, because, early on in our lifestyle journey, we may have been a little more sex focused. Like, we're not really concerned about friends necessarily. We just want to have sex with hot people. But that sex is so much more enjoyable. I think a lot of people tend to, after they've been in the lifestyle for a while, they start to slowly navigate away from the, I just want to fuck anything that moves. This is not everybody, and this is not necessarily obligatory, but you start to move around the novelty of having sex with somebody new towards the, well, what I really enjoy is truly getting to know somebody first. And then the sex seems to be so much deeper and better.
And in my experience, a lot of times, even the first time we have like a new kind of novel experience, because there's community there, we're already talking about like, next time, can we try this? Or I really liked that thing. Could we do more of this? The physical connection can also become so much more enjoyable. As a woman, I feel a lot more empowered to even like share what I really want, the more comfortable I am as well. So like it's a win-win for me.
Yeah, I agree. I do want to ask what all of our fans would really want to know is, Matt, did you naked paddleboard?
No, I did the first time I went there, but because we were hosting, we were driving up there and I was like, I thought I was going to bring my paddleboard. She's like, yeah, no, you would. I need you to be there. Like, so I didn't bring it. So I
Next time.
This hosting business can really cramp your style.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
It's quite a sight to see him naked paddleboard. And I told him that if he was going to do that something bad might happen to him. I would be doing.
And by something bad, you mean something good?
No, something bad. Yeah, I'm with you, Cara. I feel that in my soul.
Because here's the thing, is that like, I have a smaller social battery than he does. Maybe people wouldn't be surprised by that, but I think that like I kind of wear out, or I actually feel very shy in those kinds of situations, but I'm just like, I'm going to do it. And I just kind of put on a face and go. And I think it gives him so much. Mm-hmm. And the thought of him just taking off for 30 minutes on a paddleboard while I'm with all of these strangers, because we hadn't gotten there yet. And I was like, absolutely. No, you're not.
I didn't even pack it.
So how long did you guys end up staying at Sauvie Island?
Probably
like from like 11 to
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah,
somewhere between 3 to 4 hours. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, long enough for some of us to get sunburned.
All right.
So when you left Sauvie Island, what happened then? You went back to your hotel.
Well, yeah, and
nap.
And just to provide a little context, you've been working with what's the name of the club? Club Privata for a while now, trying to negotiate exactly how this was going to work.
They gave Naughty Gym members or people that had signed up to the list $20 discount at the door for you had to buy the membership, and then you still had to buy your tickets to get in.
And what may be surprising to people is what looks like a nothing burger, like you just show up and have a party at Club Privata, was months and months of emails and negotiations and problems that you it's hard to explain. But there's even something like this that was relatively simple once it actually kicked off was a logistical problem getting it put together.
Which is, and here's the thing, what most people don't realize is we didn't charge for this event. Matt and Cara did not make money on this event. This was a labor of love because they love community, because we love community. And we've done our events here in Huntsville where we don't charge for the meet and greets and stuff like that. It's because we know that there's other people like us out there craving community. Yeah. You guys leave there and go back to your hotel, take a little nap, and then go to Club Privata. How's that go?
So we go and we're like setting up. So we have a table. We've got a bunch of little goodies to give out. We have a banner that we're setting up outside so that people could take pictures. I had it where like if people posted and tagged us in the pictures that they took that night, that they could go into a drawing for one of our mobility for writing courses. And it also gave me an opportunity to talk about like some of the specifics of what we do besides, they were like, oh, this is just a fun gym, they do workout stuff. It's like, oh no, we do like workouts, for the kind of stuff you want to be doing. And retreats. And so it was a good talking point.
Well, let me interrupt real quick because I think this is an important point. One of the difficulties that we had starting out, or that you guys had, was that Club Privata is a very nice club from what we hear, and they have a very strict dress code normally, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And so we were trying to do this naughty gym theme where everybody could wear
sexy
gym clothes. And that went against their policy of their dress code policy.
The one thing they said was no gray sweatpants or sweatpants and no jock straps. Right?
But normally, though, they say it's what guys have to wear, like dress pants and a dress shirt, and women. Yeah. So you guys had to do a lot of work to convince them of the why it would be a good idea to do an event like this where they're violating their own dress code. So talk briefly. We don't spend a lot of time on that, but talk briefly about how difficult that may have been and how, thankful we are for them bending like that.
Yeah. I was able to personally thank both of the owners and the event manager. But yeah, when I first brought up the idea, they were really interested in it, but then they were like, I just don't know though, because the owners, they really like to have themselves set apart in this way. And that's could be a sticking point. And they did agree. And then we came in and we were wearing our naughty gym hats, and they were like, oh, I don't know if we can do hats. And then they made us lock our hats away. And then they were like, let us take our hats back out. And so it's just because it was so different than what they've done before. I think that a lot of the staff who were amazing, their staff were so helpful, so kind. But it was drastically different than a lot of the other things that they do. A lot of the times when we'll go there, it is heels and lace and sequins and, dress shirts and slacks. That's the dress code, period. And they'll have different themes, but they're all dressy themes.
Yeah. So tell us, how many on average do they typically have on a Saturday night, and how many were there last night?
Yeah. So what they told us is that on average on a Saturday, they have about 200 people come through the door, and 305 people came last night.
Yay! I love that.
And one of the things that makes me even happier is that people, even when they kind of struggled with the theme a little bit, they were like, are you sure? Can I wear this? Can I wear that? And they had been contacting the club and contacting us. You could count on your hands how many people did not show up in gym attire. People went for it. And it was so fun to see. There was a referee, there were cheerleaders, there were gym bunnies, there were a wrestling outfit that I mean,
part of the appeal of theme nights is to get to dress in a way you don't typically get to dress in real life. And one of the things that we've always hesitated about is we dress in gym gear every day. I mean, still to this day, because we essentially now just work 24 hours a day from home. we're still wearing gym clothes all the time. So there's no novelty in wearing gym clothes for us. And part of the fun when we do theme nights is dressing in something we don't normally wear. But for the majority of people, they don't wear gym clothes all day, every day like we do. But it is a incredibly comfortable and easy theme, I would think, to prepare for when you're going to go in there in probably tennis shoes and a sports bra and booty shorts
Well, and I will say this, a lot of times for women, they have their sexy gym clothes that they're too shy to wear at Crunch Fitness. Right. And so they save it for like, maybe one day I'll wear this, or so I know I've got stuff like that where I'm like, I don't know if I should wear this to the gym, because people in Alabama might be like, what the fuck is she wearing?
But I wish you would.
I would wear that to Club Privata.
Yeah. Same for me. People in Oregon might be like, why is this guy wearing this to the gym? But if I'm going to Club Privata on gym night, I'm going to be outrageous.
Yeah.
And so were there some extremely provocative versions of Naughty Gym theme night?
There were a lot of really fun theme shirts. Like, people were like, I wish I could remember exactly what they said, but they were really punchy, that where you take a play on, a clean or a snatch or, that kind of thing. I guess a swing.
Did you guys get a picture of the two of you in your gym outfits?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to post a picture of Matt and Cara in their gym outfits too.
And we went very 80s, 90s gym. I was told by someone that my fanny pack was in fact not sexy, but he would still fuck me despite it.
Yeah, that was the referee though.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
Fanny packs are super fucking hot. That's why
First of all, this is super practical.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like
practicality is sexy.
Well, all right. So we've had this day that started out at a clothing optional public beach in not optimal weather, but great conversations ensued. And there's a little bit of a break, and you show up at the club. Everybody's wearing gym clothes. And it's a big night. It's a increase over their typical crowd night. I'm sure it looked pretty crowded. Mm-hmm. How did the party go in general?
It went really well. Like, one of the things that Pravada does really well anyway is they throw a great dance party. So they have a thing. There's 3 floors, and the first 2 floors you can be on until 11:30. The ground floor is a dance club, and there's a cage, which is really fun to dance in. And it's completely packed with people. They have like very fun, cute bartenders down there. And then there's a little mezzanine upstairs where there's like a VIP area, another bar, a pole, a little lounge area. And so those areas are open until 11:30. At 11:30, the 3rd floor opens up, and that is like all of like the open beds, the couples area. They used to have a flogging area up there, but they actually moved it downstairs now. But so they do a really good job, I think, moving people through the club in some ways, like not being able to go upstairs until 11:30, I think keeps people dancing and engaging downstairs. And I think also because everyone was wearing sensible shoes, that there was more dancing. And it was so funny because I was trying to talk to everybody, right? As they come in and make sure they get a chapstick and a sticker and a card and all that stuff. And all the women were like, oh my God, this is amazing. My feet feel so good.
So
yes, and all those women are thanking us today.
So, because typically you see at these parties, all the women are in high heels. Was there none of that going on? Everybody was in like gym shoes of some kind.
There were some high heels, but like I said, like it was really not that many. Like, people seemed to really go for the theme. There were some high heel sneakers, to which I say, why? But I do get, it tilts your ass up. But I mean, right. I get it.
Yeah.
Matt, did you have high heel sneakers?
I did not for this particular event. I was,
but you've got them ready if you need them.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have gone. I had it was green and green. It was the whole thing. So yeah. I would have been over 6 feet tall if I would have worn those sneakers.
Yeah. That's why I would wear them too, to be tall.
Yeah. Tall, yeah.
Okay, so I love that they close off the playroom area until a certain time, because that does kind of build sexual tension. But you're right. Like, we've been to sex clubs before where not many people are into dancing. And if I'm going out and there is an opportunity to dance, I want to dance. But it's no fun if you're kind of by yourself. And a lot of times when we've gone to these places, there's really not a lot of people on the dance floor. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really well done Club Privata.
Yeah. Yes, people were dancing, people were talking. And then because we knew the people in the group from the beach, it was really nice to see kind of those people kind of connecting through the club and then connecting with other people as well. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had this moment where I went up. Everyone was still down. This was before 11:30, and actually there are playrooms that are open all the time. There's playrooms first and second floor too. But on the second floor, there's that mezzanine, and I went up when there was a good crowd down on the dance floor. I went up on the mezzanine, and I feel like so many of us were there that I feel like half of the people that were on the dance floor turned around and waved at me, and so of course I had to do a bit. And but even that was just like,
whoa, wait a minute. When you say you had to do a bit, what do you mean?
Okay, so the thing that popped into my head when I saw a bunch of people down there was that the thing I had to pretend that I didn't want to be seen, that I was actually horrified that I was seen up on and so I made one of these faces, and I pulled back from the thing, and then 5 seconds later I just came up onto the railing like I hadn't just done. It was like, all right, hey, as you know. So that was
I thought for sure he was going to do the thing where you kind of lower yourself like you're going down the stairs, but
I'd already done that down at the bar.
Sorry.
Which again is always ahead.
Did you guys? So you guys have been to this club before. Was there a different
energy
vibe or energy being the ones in charge and feeling responsible for things?
Not even being the ones in charge, but just with this group.
Yeah, both. How did you feel personally being the ones running the event, and how did you feel in general with the club being, kind of a different environment than typical?
I felt like as a host, the upside for me, because I can be shy, is it forced me to talk to everybody. It gave me a job. I'm like, everybody's going to get a chapstick. They're going to learn about the thing. I'm going to talk to them about the pictures. I'm going to, tell them about Naughty Gym and all the things. And so I talked to so many more people. Mm-hmm. And also because I was a host, a lot more people talked to me. And so that was really nice. The Pravada was actually the very first club we ever went to. And that first time is seared into my mind with crippling anxiety. Just, sitting in a corner, half naked, not knowing what to do. And so it was very different. And I think so much of it, the role, the theme, that my own journey I'm such a different person now than I was then as well.
Matt, how did you feel going from somebody who has attended events to being the person in charge and hosting the event? Was it different for you? How did the vibe change?
Kind of similarly, if I have a role to fulfill, then it sort of simplifies things for me. And then just on its own, I'd probably be maybe more comfortable hosting or running an event than I would be attending an event, probably. But yeah, it was our first time we went anywhere to a club was there. And then we had a couple more trips that were not what one would call successful. And so I had not been back to that club since 2021 or 2, and she had gone anyway. So I was excited just to go back, and I was excited to see the club before anybody else was in there because I'm a nerd. I'm like, oh, this is, it's just a whole different vibe. So it feels like you get in there, you kind of get situated, and then now you can host. And it was easy. I wasn't nervous. I was just super excited. I had a great time.
So how was the vibe as a whole compared to the other times you've been?
It's so hard to say because like I'm so biased because I feel really proud of all, like just how people came together. And it felt so different feeling like I came in there with, like 80 people that I had gotten to know and like, so for me, the vibe was very different. Mm-hmm. But if I try to like look at it from outside, like I do think that a lot of times like the night is very similar where people do really like to dance. And, I think the difference for in my experience was that like I really had already made a connection with some of them. And so I got to go around and talk to somebody, to different people. I kind of love being manhandled by men. I had a guy like sweep me up and like dip me down, just sort of like he was like, he looked at me and goes, consent. And I was like, yes. Yeah. I mean,
I give him consent and I don't even know him.
I was like, yeah. And then whoosh. And my night could have ended there. It felt, it was so fun. It was
just a little memo. Women like Cara and I love that. If you can handle us and dip us without falling over.
But wait a minute. because yeah, but wait a second. Because if you were to just as a random guy walk up to a random girl, grab them and dip them over, you are risking getting into a lot of trouble.
Oh, I'm not saying random girls. I'm saying me or Cara.
And I are available for random dips.
Right. Pick me up, spin me around.
So it was also different because I knew him too. Like he didn't feel like a stranger. Right. Like I had just met him at the beach, but I felt like boom, like we're friends now. I trust him when he says consent. I'm like, yeah, like because I trust him. And he's talked to me about his kids. He's talked to me about his religious trauma. Yeah, go like whatever it is, go ahead.
Yeah, isn't that one of the beautiful things about having these times prior to the party to get to know each other, because you bypass that section in the club. So a lot of times if you just go to a club, you show up on a Saturday night, it's 10 o'clock, you arrive, the club's packed, the music's going, and you start looking around. Well, where am I going to stand? Where am I going to sit? Who am I going to talk to? At a minimum, you're going to have to start having some conversations with people. And often those conversations start with just the vanilla basics. Hey, what's your name? How long you been in the lifestyle? What do you do for a living? You've already bypassed that because you've been to that beach and you've had these conversations and you've established some kind of connection, and it just makes it easier once you get to the party, right?
Right. Yeah. So if a random man had have just grabbed Cara and dipped her and been like consent, had she not already bonded with him on the beach talking about children and whatever, it would have been a little weird.
You said there's usually 200 people there, and that on our night there was 300 plus. Mm-hmm. Did it feel crowded, and did the club respond by saying, hey, I know this was a lot of logistical stuff that we had to work through, but we're so thankful that you guys did this, and hey,
let's do it again.
We want to do it again.
Yeah, they absolutely do want to do it again. They told me to reach out to their manager today, so I will be doing that. I still don't know what they're going to do about the dress code. There might be a Naughty Gym fancy party. I don't know. Like I feel like from the beginning of the night to the end of the night, because I made a point to go up and talk to both of the owners and all of the staff. The beginning of the night, one of the owners was like, I'm just not so sure about this theme. And she was just very honest. And I kind of love that. I love that, like, just right. I'm just going to tell you exactly how I feel. And then at the end of the night, I felt she seemed open, like the conversation seemed more open. So I don't know what kind of like attire, but I know that they definitely would like to have another thing like this. So
good.
I'm going to be
We'll definitely do it again. And hopefully next time Scott and I will be there as well.
Well,
I would love to experience this community that you guys are creating.
And you can also understand why a club would be very cautious about this, because if they open up their dress code to just, hey, you can wear gym clothes. Well, that's just a fucking nightmare, because now everybody's going to be coming in there dressed like they just walked out of a
Walmart.
Walmart or something, and they were wearing their house slippers and pajama pants or something.
Which I would love.
But you want to establish this classy environment where people can come in, know they're going to meet other people who are taking this seriously, that aren't unshowered for the last 3 days and wearing their Pinocchio pajamas that they put on 3 days ago and are covered with dirt from their kids who were eating in their lap. So you can, that was a lot of detail.
Yeah.
But you
are going to the sex club.
You can understand why they want to be very careful about their dress code. But, it's nice to hear that things went well when they kind of released the reins a bit.
Yeah. I totally get it. There's 2 other sex clubs in town, and I think that this is one way that they kind of set themselves apart. And like, people travel from different states to come to this club because of its reputation. And, so I think that that's also part of it. So I totally get it. And which is why I wanted to make a point to say thank you to both of them, to like that they allowed us to try it. I was so grateful that they just gave it a shot. So from here, we'll just kind of see what happens. I have a feeling we'll be hosting another event. I just don't know what kind of shoes I'll be wearing.
Yeah, I can definitely respect that. They're branding and setting themselves apart. I mean, that's what we do as Naughty Gym. We're trying to set ourselves apart from other brands and communities, because we're not sex forward. We're sex positive, but connection focused. So I definitely respect that. But I also think that you guys have a really good thing started in the Pacific Northwest. And I think that anybody who's looking for a community, a tribe, if you're struggling to find your people, Matt and Cara are in Oregon, and they have started a really wonderful thing out there. And we're super proud of you guys, and we're super thankful for you guys. I think you hit it out of the park.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. The morning of the event, I opened my eyes and I look over at Matt, and I was like, oh, I really want to make April proud.
Wait a minute. Why not Scott and all?
Well, and here's the thing. I struggle. Because I'm such a control freak. I do really struggle with I struggle with delegating. That's just a character flaw. I struggle with turning things over. But I know you and Matt. I know your hearts. I know that you align with our vision and our values. And I know that you love people. And that's the number one thing that we want, what we're looking for is we're looking for people who genuinely love humanity, and they love people, and they want to give space to people. And you and Matt do that in such a beautiful way. And so, yeah, we're super thankful for that.
And, we probably trust you guys to produce that kind of environment, maybe even better than we do. So we're super thankful for what you did.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It was an amazing experience. I just so happy with how well it went and everybody's response to it.
Well, we also want to know if you had any spicy fun last night.
Yeah, we don't go into super granular detail on our podcast about that. However, we want you to tell us just kind of in general, did this turn into a big party towards the end? And we're going to go into great detail on our after chat, which is only available to our Naughty Gym members on our platform. But just kind of give us the highlights.
Real quick, though, if you want to hear some more salacious details about the naughty fun that Matt and Cara may or may not have had, we do an after chat in our Naughty Gym lounge. And so we do have our Naughty Gym membership is $19.95 a month. Then we have the Naughty Gym Lounge membership, where you get access to these after chats and some chats and our weekly lives for $9.99. So if you just want to support us, you can go over to naughtygym.com and you can sign up for either one of those memberships. But both of those memberships, you'll be able to hear the details of their fun Sexcapades? Would that be fair to say?
Before we sign off, just tell us, were there some salacious details to be heard? And are we going to be entertained in our after chat?
Oh, yes. First of all, how dare you? I am always entertaining.
I agree.
True.
And yes, I'll give one detail. We had an experience. A person we had it with said it was the best they have ever had.
Okay. Okay. So we won't probably use any names, but we will definitely talk about this experience in the after chat in the Naughty Gym Lounge.
Again, we're so thankful for you guys and what you bring to the community. You know, our hope would be that one day this thing becomes so big in the Pacific Northwest that you are making a great check from it. But you knew going into this that there was no money in it for you. There was just experience. And you guys have been incredible. We're so thankful that you're a part of the Naughty Gym family.
Thank you.
You know, we hope that this continues and becomes something huge in the Pacific Northwest. But we're just thankful you're a part of our family.
Yeah. Have you heard the story of the skeleton key?
Mm-mm.
So when it's like somebody gets the gift of the key and it allows you to open a door, but also you have the responsibility to open it for others. And I feel like I'm going to cry.
Oh, don't make me cry.
gave me a skeleton key, like when I found the community. And so now I feel like it's my responsibility to create the kind of community that you guys created for me, because like I knew so much that this was a part of who I am, but I had no idea how to do it. And I felt so much like you just opened the door for me. And so now I want to do that for like as many other people as I can.
Thank you. Love you so much. And that's what we've been doing. I mean, we've struggled over the years because you see other communities that grow so fast, but they just don't align with our values. And we're like, why are they growing so fast? And just, this is a new chapter for us. And we just can't say enough how thankful we are for you. And we hope that this turns into not just the Pacific Northwest, but the East Coast and the South Coast and
South Coast.
There is the South Coast, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if there are people out there in the Naughty Gym family that are interested in perhaps hosting an event in their area, you know, we don't promise riches. You guys did this and didn't make a dime. Maybe one day you do, you know, if it gets bigger and bigger. But if there are other people out there that align with our values and are interested in maybe hosting an event in their hometown, we'd love to hear from you. We can't promise that we'll say yes, because it's very difficult for us to trust people. Matt and Cara are exceptional individuals, but we would love to hear from others who are interested in maybe doing something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, for now, we're going to move this over to our Naughty Gym Lounge and our after chat, but I just want to remind everybody to never stop playing.